Okay, so I wanted to do my first walkthrough of an area that I built. I've been playing Fallout 4 for a couple of years now. I've completed the game a couple of times. My favoriteest thing in the whole game, and the reason I still play this game, is for the construction mode, where you can get in and you can build whatever your little heart desires. So I've built a lot in this game. Haven't really kept a lot of the builds because I wasn't able to finish them. Just got a new computer, so everything's faster now, and the game is able to, the computer is able to keep up with the game, especially on larger builds. But I wanted to build something really cool, and so here I am at Coastal Cottage. And because I picked Coastal Cottage because it's a smaller build area and something I'm going to leave in the game. There's one area that I have absolutely just loved and adored for many years, and a movie that I go back to constantly, and I can watch it again and again and again, and it never gets old. So that would be, I hope you recognize it, but if you don't, The Cabin in the Woods. So I built the cabin in the woods as a project to see if I could actually do it and get things to line up, and turned out pretty cool, I think. How about we go check out the inside? Okay, so here we are at the front door. You'll have to forgive me, I've got a bit of hay fever. Could be COVID, could be mad cow's disease, actually, I'm not really sure. But anyway, so let's go on inside. And the first thing that we see in the movie is the living area and dining room, kitchen area, and I threw, of course, their beer keg over here because I thought it looked cool. One thing I'd like to point out is that on the movie cover, the floors are all, or the levels are all square. In the movie, they are not. So I put up this picture in reference. If you take that poster down and push the walls out, that's where all the bedrooms would be, back behind there. It is a one-story cabin in the movie that we know of. Well, minus the cellar. But anyway, so what I did was I took the bedrooms and put them upstairs. So I was able to give me the 3 floors, so I had the same aesthetics as the movie cover. So I think we'll go through this chronologically and show off kind of what I did. So everybody comes in, everybody's checking out the cabin. They're like, ooh, this is awesome. Kurt's gonna go kill a raccoon and make a cap out of the skin. And so the next thing that they do is they go and everybody gets, settled into their room. So I put the rooms upstairs. First room we go to is Holden's. And come on in here, turn the light on. And in the movie, all we really see is Holden's duffel bag and his bed. And as he's looking around his room, he sees this big poster on the wall, and he's like, oh, that's gross. It's a picture of a big sacrifice ritual thing going on. And so he's not too happy with it, so he decides to take it down off the wall So we'll go into build mode real quick. And we'll put the poster over here. And then when he looks back, sees Dana. And it's supposed to be a one-way mirror. And she, of course, starts to get undressed. And he's like, maybe. And he tells her to hold up. And go around here to Dana's room. And, okay, so it's not exactly a one-way mirror, but you get the idea, right? Turn on the lights in her room. Now, the only thing that we see in her room is her suitcase, the bed, and then there's a picture on the wall. This becomes Holden's room, and Dana gets to go over here. Oops. Yeah. So Dana moves over here into this room. She puts the poster back up and then goes, yeah, that's just gross. Because Holden starts to get undressed also. And she puts a blanket over it. And that's the end of that. So, the only other room that we get to see is Marty's room. Now, Marty's room we see a little bit later in the movie. And all we see in Marty's room is Marty on the bed reading Finding Nemo. And this is where he gets up and he freaks out and he hears voices. And then he goes back downstairs. But in the movie, when they find the Buckner journal and they start talking about these black rooms. So there was no point in reference to the black rooms, so I just kind of, in the spare spaces that I had, made my own kind of weird black room with a lot of, torture devices, dead bodies, stuff hanging up. But I put one in Marty's room, and I think I put one in Holden's room. Yeah. So, wanted them to look kind of different. I really dig this green ambient glow from the brain jar. And not sure where I got these zombies and the zombie heads in the bottles, but they're kind of neat. So anyway, those are the black rooms. And go back downstairs. Of course, we need Fallout 4 elements to the build, so got some statues up. Okay, so down here, having a party. Dana starts dancing. No, not Dana. Sorry. Jules starts dancing, and they go into a truth or dare. And Marty dares Jules to make out with the moose. And it's pretty hilarious because they're like, Marty, have you ever even seen a moose? And he's like, well, that mythical creature over there. I'm living in a world of Reaper. Leave me alone. So, I don't have a wolf mounted in Fallout 4. But I do got this guy who looks pretty cool. And kind of put him at head height. So, if you have the desire to make out with him, then there you go. Funny side note, in the movie, they removed the tongue from the actual wolf that was hanging on the wall. They made another one out of silicone, and then they covered that tongue and all the teeth in sugar so that she wouldn't be grossed out making out with the wolf. Yeah. So if you're an ugly guy and you want some chick to make out with you, then just coat your teeth in sugar. I guess it'll work. So anyway, Dana does her thing. Sorry, I keep saying Dana. Jules does her thing, and she hits up Dana and says, Kurt says truth because she doesn't want to do a dare. Thinks she's a big wuss, and suddenly this trapdoor opens, and everybody freaks out. So they want Dana to go downstairs, but it's funny because all of them go down. So this is the basement, and there's really just a lot of Fallout 4 stuff in here. There's no lights downstairs. They all had flashlights. So I just wanted to create some cool ambient light. I did manage to come up with my murder couple. They're both carrying machetes, and this is their torture bed. It's hooked up to a battery. I don't know if you can see it right underneath there. And then, of course, they have these two tables with torture devices on it. So there's also a cross, so they can hang you on the cross if they want. There's a couple other torture things around. But anyway, so I really like these brain jars. I think they're pretty cool. Some ambient light. So at the time when I was building this, I was listening to The We Free Men by Terry Pratchett, and it's about some little Scottish fairies or sprites or whatever they are, that are just really violent, and they drink and they fight, and that's all they do pretty much. So I added a couple of gnomes because I thought that would be funny. Anyway, so last thing, I am a really big BioShock fan, and in Fallout 4 you can download a mod, go to Rapture, and get BioShock armor, the Big Daddies and Little Sister, and you also get this doll, and you get a statue and some other things. But I absolutely love BioShock. I've played the game I don't know how many times, but I put these Big Daddy dolls just about everywhere in my settlements. On this one, I decided to do something a little bit different. I figured out how to resize, so I made him bigger and stuck him in this display case. Because another one of my favorite movies is Annabelle. So I didn't actually, there are no dolls in Fallout, so I made him my Annabelle, which I thought was pretty funny. And then behind him is the escape point for the little sisters when they want to come in or take off whenever they want to. So anyway, so that's it. That's my cabin in the woods. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know this is my first go through, and I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. Alright? Awesome.